has to be interesting.
It's got to be creative.
You know, maybe when you're young, it's really fun, but when you're older and stuff, you can do something new with it and make it fun too.
Even though you know the general idea of it, you don't know what's going to happen next.
Like something that hasn't been done before, and also something that you can do more with than meets the eye.
It has to be active and move around.
Everybody likes it.
Well, you have to have a motor.
One that you play with a lot.
The ones that inspire kids' curiosity.
So what makes a good toy? That's a tough question. Everybody likes different things, but in general, I think a toy that does more than one thing is a better toy. You see, the toys that don't get played with a lot are the toys that just don't have any imagination from the kids in the toy. So if they don't get to express their feelings and use it in lots of different ways, then it's kind of a predefined play pattern. Open-ended toys, those are the fun ones. The Kid Museum is the perfect place to hold this toy challenge, largely because it's a maker space and a museum in one. I haven't seen this anywhere else in the country, focused on kids. They get to learn how to draw, how to build, how motors work. So there's a lot of things they can do to experiment, and there's mentors to help teach them things. So they don't have to know how to make a toy from the beginning, but when they're done, I think they'll know how to make a really cool toy.
We came up with 3 ideas that surprisingly were chosen for the semifinalists. Our first idea is called the E-Pin, short for electronic pin. It's a fashion toy.
Our second idea was the Vector.
Basically, it's just a fan-propelled ball.
Think about them like the new generation race car.
Out of the 3 projects, this is the hardest. If you want to keep the sort of the multiple fans, you really have to think about the airflow and stuff.
Right.
Our third idea is something called the Pico plant. We thought that it would be fun trying to get a plant to grow without having it really dying.
So it's more of like a robotic plant.
If it's kind of based on solar power, then it would kind of bloom in the morning. The most efficient solar cells are made from slices of silicon crystals.
Of course, LEDs.
Of course.
So that if the temperature was too low or too high for the plant, the LEDs would flash like sad colors.
Okay.
And then if it would...
A little LED in the face of the plant or something.
My idea is called a parapigeon, and what it is essentially is it is a robotic bird, and it has 4 rotors in the center that will tilt it in the direction it's going to move.
I don't think it would be too much weight, and it would definitely make it look more like the body of a bird.
How thick is the plastic that we were thinking about cutting it out of?
When you do 3D printing, you can make things pretty thin, although they get to be pretty fragile. It's nice to have like multiple layers of one of these things. And so this is, of course, they come in all different sizes, and
Since our last mentoring session, we've been prototyping, so we've been learning a lot about all the electronics to put together, and she's been learning more about programming. It's just fun to see how we've been progressing from day 1 to where we are now. He's given us a lot of ideas to think about with his experience, giving us ideas to make our projects even better, less likely to fail. Yeah.
Like the Vector, if he hadn't pointed out about the airflow problem, our orb wouldn't be able to move at all. My favorite is the Vector. I like it because it's not finished, and it's a kind of a theory toy because we don't know if it's going to work or not. That's what makes it more exciting and interesting. Plus, I think it'll look pretty cool when it's done. If it's done, if it works.
Yeah, we'll make it work.
a drone bird. So, or real, of course you can use this.
Stuff like this. That's pretty cool, huh?
Those also.
Then it lights up.
This is my G-Series toy. This is the scale to attack.
I want to make a toy that could fold up and you could throw it and it would open up and fly like a glider. Just an easy prototype we had here. This was just made from a fan system that we added a rubber band to.
This is the game I created. It's called Maneuver. It's kind of like checkers, but on a cube.
When I was a little girl, I really liked robotic toys, but I was always disappointed that they were always like monster trucks or dinosaurs. So I decided to create something. So the Hyper Hedgehogs are like other remote controlled toys, but they're mostly aimed at girls.
The parrot pigeon is essentially a drone bird.
What do you think you learned the most out of this whole process?
Actually, I learned a lot about soldering with one of my mentors, and I got a lot better at that.
That the E-pin can light up in different colors, and it also has a motor in the center as the body. So you can see the 6 bands here, and they all rotate.
This is the Pico Plane.
This was a really fun project to get together and motivate a new generation of toy designers, and the popular vote award goes to Miranda with Hyper Hedgehogs. The next prize, this is 3rd place, goes to Sebastian with G-Spider. The next prize is Maneuver by Chandler. And the winner of the very first Toy 2.0 challenge is Stephanie and Elizabeth with Vector.
I'm just going to pinch myself right now to make sure this isn't a dream.
There was a lot of neat ideas here. There was a lot of good inspiration, some things that could give us inspiration. I'm pretty sure that on the car ride home, we're gonna think of a couple, maybe like 10 more ideas for next year.